Don John Smit is a premier provider of Oil Pollution Act of 1990 maritime salvage, lightering, and firefighting emergency response services in which nearly 200 years of corporate expertise of Don John and Smit is leveraged. The joint venture is one of the first salvors in the country to meet the new salvage and firefighting regulations, and we offer all services required in today's marine salvage business, including highly trained personnel, modern tugboats, and specialized equipment to protect the marine environment. Our competitors may say they have nationwide coverage and OPA 90 compliance, but at Don John Smit, we prove it. Welcome to Don John Smit's Compliance Decision Tool, an interactive map that gives our clients the ability to verify our capabilities. By providing you with the power of our response planning framework, you can see firsthand the robustness of Don John Smit's capabilities. Utilizing the open source tool, Google Earth, we've compiled and geographically coded Don John Smit's own assets, as well as our partners' equipment and capabilities, all with the intention of guiding our clients in their planning and decision-making in selecting a qualified salvor. You can gather, sort, and visualize equipment inventories, response planning timeframes, our ability to respond within those timeframes, see real-time tracking of our emergency towing assets, and have the ability to review our response agreements for every identified piece of equipment. Are you prepared to certify your salvor's capability? This tool gives you the confidence and assurance that Don John Smit is properly and correctly prepared to meet this challenge. We've overlaid the U.S. Coast Guard Captain of the Port locations on the globe, linked to their respective emergency contact data, and provided easy access to the salvage and firefighting section of those ports' area contingency plans. New to the industry, the Coast Guard's salvage and marine firefighting requirements require a myriad of requirements of both salvor and ship owner. Don John Smit will help you meet those requirements by including this information in our salvage annex to your vessel response plans. The new regulations contain different response timeframes for 3 different operational areas. Pierside, near shore, defined as inland waters, the Great Lakes, and 12 nautical miles or less from the continental United States, and offshore, or up to 38 nautical miles seaward of the nearshore area. Now, with a mouse click, you can see how Don John Smit meets each of these individual requirements with our world-class personal expertise and state-of-the-art salvage, lightering, and firefighting resources. Let's start on the map with Don John's headquarters in Hillside, New Jersey. You can see displayed our inventory of equipment located at Don John's warehouse. Next is Smit Salvage America, whose warehouse is based out of Houston, Texas, and has all the latest equipment to tackle marine emergencies, all within minutes of Bush Intercontinental Airport. The joint venture headquarters is located in Alexandria, Virginia, minutes from Washington, D.C. Here, we manage response, planning, and coordination of the equipment you are about to see. Let's now take a look at the emergency towing available from Don John, Smit, and our partners. Each anchor icon represents a port in which we have emergency towing assets available, provided by Don John, Smit, or our partners. Baltimore, Hampton Roads, New York, New Jersey, Vancouver are just a few examples. You, the ship owner operator, need to be certain that your salvor can meet the regulations for responding to marine casualties in the appropriate timeframes. The tugboat icons show our tug assets individually and in real time, or their last known position. Here's New York City and the real-time position of our Don John tugs. If we take a larger regional view of our towing assets on the East Coast, you can see the geographical data to pinpoint our assets to ensure that we meet all USCG requirements. Here you see our tugboat locations, near-shore and offshore demarcation lines, and our response times for 12 hours, illustrated in green, and for 18 hours illustrated in blue, thus demonstrating full compliance for the emergency towing response requirements. Don John Smit and its firefighting response partners excel in the specialized art of marine firefighting, with highly trained teams fully equipped to extinguish shipboard fires swiftly and safely. Our proven marine firefighting tactics minimize damage to the vessel and the marine environment. Let's look at our marine firefighting capability and components. Here, we have mapped all the local firefighting departments that we have mutual aid agreements with for rapid situational awareness to the closest local authorities in any given area. Here's the Los Angeles County Fire Department. We have points of contact, the phone number, address, and website for the local authorities in each major port area. We also have a partnership with a large pump company, Rain for Rent, which greatly expands our firefighting capacity. Here are Rain for Rent's locations with contact information and minimum equipment available. Local response is augmented by Don John Smith partner CUD Well Control, a leader in well control firefighting with equipment in their Texas, Oklahoma, and Wyoming warehouse facilities ready to be transported by air to any location on short notice. To ensure access to personal firefighting gear, Don John Smith has strategically located firefighting response vans across the country. We now have the capability to airlift critical fire response equipment at a moment's notice. Over 2,400 feet of fire hose, portable monitors with stream nozzles, handheld nozzles, foam capability, portable fire extinguishers, manifold, shore connectors, and all common adapters. Safety harness and wire, buddy breather and oxygen resuscitator, and ability to fully outfit a 6-man firefighting team with personal protection equipment. While all this expertise is moving to a scene, at the same time our national firefighting teams will deploy from their respective locations to ensure any fire is properly and expeditiously fought no matter where it is located. Now we'll see how this tool, just like with the emergency towing requirements, ensures that we are adequately meeting the planning standards. Let's zoom in on the Northeast. Don John Smith's equipment and location data is geocoded, and we have done response time analysis for all U.S. Coast Guard sectors, preparing us for meeting the new OPA 90 regulations. Want to know how long it would take to get our pre-positioned firefighting container and personnel in Newark to each of the U.S. Coast Guard sectors in the Northeast to meet the planning standards for marine firefighting? Watch, it's easy. Here's New Jersey to Philadelphia, which is our warehouse in Newark, to the Coast Guard sector's main office. We can see the transport route, distance, and times between the 2 points. And New Jersey to Baltimore, New Jersey to Portland, New Jersey to Boston. Let's take a look at the experience factor. Loading some historical and satellite data, we see the infamous Hurricane Katrina. With wind speeds of 280 kilometers an hour, Hurricane Katrina wreaked havoc on the U.S. Gulf Coast. Don John Marine Company was awarded the United States Navy's contract to implement and coordinate the salvage efforts that were needed as a result of Katrina. These numbers represent the hundreds of vessels salvaged and marine obstructions removed by Don John Marine and its subcontractors. As the Earth rotates, you'll notice yellow points dot the globe all over the world. What these represent are just some of Don John, Smith, and Don John Smith responses to marine casualties across the globe in just the last few years. Our response is proven, touching every corner of the globe and every type of salvage response imaginable. And this isn't just a tool for our potential clients. We also use the tool to locate, identify, and provide the fastest responses possible in the industry today. A key advantage to an asset framework based in Google Earth is the ability to see real-time, dynamic information feeds. In a fast-paced and emergency situation, knowing those operating around you can make a difference between life and death. Let's take a look at the Port of Los Angeles. Visible now is the very busy Port of Los Angeles and Long Beach. The vessel traffic you see now is real-time. Each plotted vessel you see here can be clicked on to retrieve additional information about that vessel. We can also retrieve real-time severe weather alerts geographically overlaid on our asset map. Tornadoes, severe weather, flash floods, and special marine advisories all are viewable. By contracting your salvage services from Don John Smith, vessel owners can be assured of compliance with every aspect of OPA 90 and U.S. federal and state salvage, firefighting, and emergency lightering response regulations. And this tool allows you to confidently sign your vessel response plan knowing you've made the most responsible decision. Every aspect of the regulations is included for your evaluation. For full access to this tool or to learn more about the services of Don John Smith, we urge you to contact us today.